All right, ready. Yes, give yourself a round of applause for showing up. Thank you. All right, so welcome. This event is prepared by Atlas Movement, hosted by the Global Democracy Coalition Forum. We are happy to be here. It's going to be a full day. It's not theory only. We'll have this afternoon some workshop where you can really make your recommendation for democracy. We have both a physical event here and we have a Zoom bridge on which we already have few people connected, I think around 30 people. For who's in the room and cannot, or please see subtitles in other languages, can join the Zoom link that you see on the screen, but also you should have it in your invite. Sì, lo ripeto in italiano, benvenuti. Sarà una lunga giornata, abbiamo la possibilità di avere dei sottotitoli in qualsiasi lingua vogliate su Zoom. Per averli scansionate il codice QR o seguite il link che avete anche sull'agenda e attivate le captions. All right. So we are all volunteers here today. I'm going to keep it short. And I want to introduce Andrea Venzon, our co-founder and mastermind of this event, who will introduce you to the work we will do today and to the world of Atlas. Welcome.
Grazie. So thank you so much, guys. I will also be short because we started late, because obviously everyone is late, so everyone's going late, and we have another speaker online. So I'll take 5 minutes of your time just to tell you why we are here, what we are doing, and what I personally would like, but I think the whole team of Atlas would like to take out of this day. So it's no mystery that the situation in the world is not fantastic. And that's a big understatement. Of course, especially in the topic of freedom, but obviously there are many other issues. We can feel the history is not going in the right direction. And I mean, if you follow politics, but even if you're just vaguely interested in the news, which today is a radical approach to life because many people are not anymore, we can see that whatever we thought the direction of history was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, is not anymore. First of all, I introduce myself. I'm Andrea, and I started this political movement a few years back. I'll tell you about it in a second. But what I want to say is that when I started doing politics, activism is now 6, 7 years ago, it was a completely different world, which is crazy because it's just 5, 6 years ago. But young people, everyone was way more engaged, way more active than today. And for me, this is a big, big worry, especially, and obviously in Italy, where in Italy is a very clear situation where people do not want to show up anymore, do not want to put their face on anything, don't attach their name to any cause. And for me, this is the beginning of a very dangerous trend that we see in authoritarian countries, when people are not willing to take any risk, are not willing to state what they stand for, are worried to join any initiative, any new thing that is coming their way because they think that it's better to stay behind a laptop or at home and care only about their interest. So first and foremost, for me today, I hope it can be a change. Obviously, we won't change it, Italian, European, or global society's day, but I want this day to be a first day where if you're here in the room, I'm very proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself, because it's a terrible day. It's 9 a.m. on a Saturday, and you came out to speak about politics, to speak about freedom, to understand that you have the power to change something, to make your voice heard, to ensure that you give some hope to people that right now are in a way worse situation than we are. So I'm very proud of every participant here, and we'll do our best to host a fantastic event today. So thank you for showing up, first of all. I'll take 1 more minute to tell you about Atlas and the GDC. So Atlas is an organization that we started a few years back. So I come from politics. I worked I created a pan-European party called Volt in 2017, led it until 2020, and then together with my co-founder that I don't see somewhere there, we realized that a lot of the topics we're working on, freedom is one of them, are actually global topics. So we said, wow, if we're global topics, why are we trying to solve them only in Italy or in Europe? Why are we trying to replicate the same dynamics of division, of separation between continents, nationalities, skin colors, gender, religions that we see all over society? And they are creating massive problems to our society. Why don't we try to look beyond and do the impossible? Create a political movement that actually is a home, is a house for anyone across the planet, regardless of who they are, what they believe, where they wake up in the morning, but simply because they believe that some values are fundamental. The value of human dignity, the fact that no one should be left behind. The value of freedom, the fact that no one should tell you who you should be, what you could say, or how you could behave, obviously, unless you're harming someone. The value of equity. How can we live in a society where there are billionaires flying to the moon, where here in a very wealthy city in Italy, there are people sleeping rough every night with storms outside? And obviously, I mean, another big topic that we tackle is the well-being of individuals. We see how difficult it is for people to get by and so on. So these are the big topics that we believe are fundamental, are global in nature, and we should tackle together across the planet. And so we created Atlas as a vehicle to do so. It's been a very bumpy and long ride because obviously, so we started in 2020 with a different name. There was COVID in between, so we had to like reorganize, push, advocate. And then since last summer, we decided to start becoming more active in politics and actually try to run for election across the planet. But I'll tell you about this more tomorrow if you come to our Italian summit, because we are building the Italian branch of Atlas here. And then we have the Global Democracy Coalition, a wonderful organization we are part of that basically has taken, not taken because it didn't start from us, but has exploded one of our beliefs that we should band together to fight against authoritarianism, and has created a massive network of organizations and associations across the planet. They're working to strengthen democracy, one every day, supporting each other and fighting with each other. And thanks to this wonderful organization, we were able to host this conference, and obviously gave us financial support, but also gave us logistical, technical, and any kind of support we wanted to assemble the wonderful panels you see in the agenda today. So thank you so much, GDC. And right after me, Elisenda, who is one of the representative project manager, will intervene. One last word. What do we want to take out of this day? For me, we have a massive issues in front of us. Freedom is under attack. We all know it. Whether you care about the Ukrainian issue, whether you care about the Palestinian issue, whether you care about DRC, whether you care about fundamental freedoms in Europe, we are under attack. The world is bleaker now than 5 years ago. I mean, now with the US presence that we have, it's so clear that no one can ignore it anymore. So the idea of this conference is to try to bind together issues, causes, and people that believe that together we are strong. There are a lot of people fighting for freedom on different fronts. How can we bring them together? Especially in a moment where the West, the US and Europe are not working anymore together towards this goal. It's arguable that they ever did fully, but at least they tried at times. Right now it's not the case anymore. So how can we imagine a new system, a new international order, a new coalition of countries or communities or whatever we can to fight back? And of course, it feels as a big dream. But when the European Union was founded, it was a crazy idea. Like we just finished slaughtering each other for 5 years, and suddenly we sat together and shook hands and built an organization where we share sovereign power. And NATO as well. I mean, it was a very similar idea. Or the United Nations, I mean, just post-war order, right? So it's not impossible to conceptualize new systems, and with the crazy world we live into, push this idea through, and perhaps in 5, 10, 15 years, seeing it happening. So today, I want, and you're going to be fully involved in this, I want all of you to imagine which world would I like to see for myself in 10 years, for my family, for my kids, for my community? How do I want to see the world be in 10, 20 years from now? How do I want to see what's happening in Eastern Europe being solved? How do I want to see the horrible massacres happening in DRC right now being solved? These are tasks. It's a massive task. Probably a room full of Harvard and Princeton professors wouldn't solve it fully, but maybe that's the secret. We need actually normal people, voters, activists, advocates to come together and start thinking, because no one has figured it out. So let's try ourselves today, right now. Thank you.
So I just wanted to go quickly through the agenda today. You just heard our welcome message from Andrea. We also have Elisenda talking shortly. Then we will have some keynotes speech from Svildrana Tsikhanouskaya. Apologies if the pronunciation is not perfect. Bernard Dika, I saw in the room, Oleksandra Romanskova, and then we will have a panel with several guests, and we will finish our morning at around 1 p.m. And give you time for lunch. During the morning and also the afternoon, we will go over the agenda again, of course, but anyone in the room or online, please feel free to ask questions, raise your hands. We have Julian taking care of the technical aspects, and he will facilitate also taking questions from online. I guess we can go to the next steps. We have Elisenda Ballesté Buxó, right? I'll give space to her. Round of applause.
Thank you so much for this kind introduction. Can you hear me all? Can you hear me? Perfect. Thank you, Sabit. Thank you so much, and thank you for the kind introductions, and also Andreas, thank you for your
Elisenda,
speech.
you might be on mute.
No.
Or let us adjust the audio once.
We hear her. We hear her online, actually. I think it's a problem physically there.
Yeah.
You're audible, Elisenda.
Let me know if you hear me in the room.
Almost there,
We hear
Elisenda.
you in the room, Elisenda. We hear you. But I think they don't hear you in Milano.
Exactly.
So I think it's a problem of them on the screen, maybe,
Yes.
where they are watching it.
Try same as system.
Can I try to speak, Elisenda?
Hi. Can you hear me now? In Milan?
Sorry, guys. Volume, guys, have you tried? Sometimes. Yeah, it's true. It's the volume.
Hi, can you hear me? In Milan?
Definitely, they don't hear you in Milan.
No.
Hasn't arrived to Italy, definitely.
Yes. Beautiful. Woo, we made it.
Now I
Now
think
you
yes,
can
now
hear
they-
me in Milan? Yes, you can hear me in Milan? I hope so. I hope so, but thank you so much. Good. Thank you so much, Andrea, again. Thank you for the kind introduction, and thank you for your words that really set up the tone for today's discussion. So, salve a tutti. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all joining us from across Europe and beyond. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the Global Democracy Coalition Europe Forum 2025, the first of 4 regional forums that the Global Democracy Coalition is organizing this year. Today marks the beginning of a series of critical discussions on the state of democracy, the challenges we face, and most importantly, the solutions that we can build together. Let me begin by extending my sincere gratitude to our co-host, Atlas Movement, for their dedication, their effort in making this event a reality. Organizing a space for democratic dialogue is no small feat, and we deeply appreciate their commitment to bringing people together at such crucial time. I also want to thank you all, democracy advocates, Global Democracy Coalition partners, civil society leaders, policymakers, youth activists, and experts who have taken the time to join us today, either online or in person. Your presence and engagement are the testament to the fact that despite all the challenges that we are facing, the democratic community remains resilient, determined, and ready to take action. As many of you know, the Global Democracy Coalition was founded on the belief that democracy cannot be taken for granted. It must be built, strengthened, and defended every day. Today, the coalition has a clear purpose: to unite democracy-supporting organizations and individuals worldwide to reinforce democratic resilience and foster international cooperation. In recent years, as you know, democracy has come under pressure like never before. Polarization is deepening, civic spaces are shrinking, and authoritarianism is on the rise. But we have also seen incredible determination. Across the world, we've witnessed people standing up for their rights, civil society pushing back against repression, and institutions adapting to new challenges. And that's why we're here today. These regional forums are not just events, they are platforms for action. They bring together voices from across the world to share strategies, exchange ideas, and build the momentum needed to push democracy forward. They serve as spaces for dialogue, strategy building, and collaboration, ensuring that diverse perspectives and experiences contribute to shaping the future of democracy. This Europe Forum marks the beginning of a global conversation. In the coming weeks, we will continue our journey with the Americas Forum in Buenos Aires, followed by the African Forum in Nairobi, and finally the Asia Forum in Bangkok. Each of these gatherings will contribute to a larger global effort to strengthen democratic cooperation and drive meaningful change. But again, these forums are not isolated discussions. The insight, the strategies that emerge here will feed into the Global Democracy Coalition broader advocacy efforts and global initiatives by ensuring that the voices and the solutions we develop are connected, impactful, and forward-looking. The choice to begin our regional forums here in Europe is intentional. Europe has long been seen as a pillar for democratic governance. Yet today, it is also a region grappling with increasing polarization, rising authoritarian tendencies, disinformation campaigns, and shrinking civic space. Geopolitical shifts are testing democratic institutions across the continent. This year, a wave of election is taking place across the region, many of which will shape the trajectory of democracy for the years to come. We see hope in civic movements working to defend democratic values, in leaders championing transparency, and in citizens who remain engaged despite mounting challenges. And let's be clear, this is a defining moment. We are witnessing both resilience and resistance. On one hand, civic movements continue to push for stronger democratic safeguards, and there is a renewed commitment to protecting human rights, freedoms, and democratic institutions. But on the other, we see rising discontent, growing distrust in institutions, and coordinated attempts to undermine democracy itself. And that is why this forum is so critical. The conversations we will have today are not just theoretical. They are about identifying tangible solutions and collective strategies to safeguard freedom and democracy. Against the backdrop of democratic backsliding, polarization, and weakened international responses to oppression, this forum will explore how democratic actors can more effectively support freedom struggles worldwide. So today, through the panels, the workshops, and the strategic discussions, we will focus on building value-based alliances, reforming the international institutions, strengthening cross-regional collaboration in defense of fundamental rights. The fact that this event is taking place just day before the Italy's Memorial Day for mafia victims, this event also provides an opportunity for us to reflect on Europe's own historical struggles for democracy and freedom, and what lessons we can apply to today's challenges. So the insight and strategies emerging from these discussions will directly shape the Global Democracy Coalition broader regional and global democracy initiatives, helping to advance a shared international strategy for democratic resilience. And this is because at the Global Democracy Coalition, we believe that democracy is not something that happens on its own. It is built by the people who defend it. It is sustained by those who participate in it, and it's strengthened when we work together. And over the past year, we have worked to elevate the voices of democracy advocates, to provide platforms for exchange and push for greater global cooperation in defending democratic principles. From policy advocacy to grassroots engagement, from supporting free and fair elections to amplifying the work of civil society organizations, our coalition remains dedicated to ensuring that democracy is not only preserved, but strengthened. And you might know that one of our major initiatives apart from the forum has been the Thank You Democracy Advocacy campaign, which has amplified the voices of those on the front lines of democratic struggles and underscores why democracy matters. Through storytelling, public engagement, and strategic communications, we are reinforcing the value of democracy at a time when it is increasingly under threat. And this is the fourth yearly forum that we organize, and the second time we have integrated these regional components, because we have learned that context matters, that democracy challenges are best addressed by those experiencing them firsthand. So these forums allow us to bridge the global insight with local realities, ensuring that democracy support is not just theoretical, but practical and, most importantly, impactful. Yet we cannot do this alone, because no single organization, no single government, no single movement can take on this challenge by itself. Democracy thrives when we come together, when we support one another, and when we stand firm in our shared commitments to freedom and human rights. The strength of the Global Democracy Coalition lies in its partnerships like the one that we have with Atlas Movements, because our global network of organizations and individuals who share a common vision for democracy is strong. Today's event is a testament to that collaboration. It is a space for listening, for learning, and building connections that will extend beyond this event. Each of you play a vital role in these collective efforts, and your contributions today will help shape the way forward. So this forum, Atlas designed it to be interactive, solution-driven, and forward-thinking. We encourage you all online or in person to engage actively, challenge ideas, and share your insights. Don't be shy. This is not a passive event. It is a space where we shape the future of democracy together. As we begin this conversation, I want to leave you with a thought. Democracy is not something we inherit. It is something that we build, that we sustain and defend every single day. Every action we take, every dialogue we engage in, every commitment we uphold contributes to the larger fight for a just, inclusive, free, and democratic world. So as we move through today's discussion, I encourage you to think about three things. How will you take what you learned here today and apply it to your work? How can we as a collective strengthen our collaborations beyond this forum? What concrete actions can we take to push the democracy agenda forward? And these are not academic questions. They are urgent calls for engagement. And remember that this is just the beginning. From here, we will move to Buenos Aires, Nairobi, and Bangkok. And later this year, we will reconvene in Copenhagen to bring together the insights from all these regional forums and outline concrete next steps. So I invite you all to stay engaged, to stay connected, and stay committed to this shared mission. Let's get started. Thank you so much to all of you for being here, and welcome to the Global Democracy Coalition Europe